is water. At Blue Water Company, we are trying to take dirty water and make it clean again so it can be productively reused to address this issue. If we want to address water security, which is a problem in our country, we want to address environmental pollution, we want to improve public health, and we want to make our cities livable, this is an imperative. This is a common sight you see in pretty much in every city in India. 70% of India's sewage, even today, goes into the environment untreated. Now this is 40 billion liters, and we'll talk about what 40 billion liters actually means a little later on. 26 of the 32 largest cities in India face a water shortage of between 10% to 60%. Now imagine what we could do if this 40 billion liters was recycled and reused instead of being let out into the environment. And lastly, it is, that's no fun. And lastly, it is always the poorest people who live alongside these water bodies, these the wastewater channels, and you can imagine what that does to their health and their quality of life. Now, we have centralized sewer systems, but this is not enough. They're expensive, they're difficult to build, they're expensive to build, expensive to maintain. Not everyone can connect to them due to narrow roads, different heights, topography, etc. In fact, less than 500 cities in India have partial sewer networks. A city like Delhi, about 50% of the city is connected to the sewer network. Bangalore, 70%. Pune does well at about 90%, Bombay is about 80%. So even in our big cities, not everyone can connect to the sewer. And lastly, it is difficult to reuse the treated water. This is a 200 million liter a day sewage treatment plant in Nagpur. Now you can imagine, when you have 200 million liters every day collecting in this location, it's very hard to take it out of here to any location where it can be productively reused. Often STPs are built at the bottom of a slope, so you take advantage of gravity. Very difficult, very expensive to take it back into any kind of commercially valuable use. Just taking Hyderabad as an example, it's by no way unique. Every city looks like this. Hyderabad generates 1,710 million liters of sewage every day. As of late last year, it had 23 sewage treatment plants that treated 45% of that wastewater. The remaining 95%, they announced 56 new STPs which will be built. But the remaining water, 935 MLD, flows into the rivers and lakes, and you can see if you go online and look at water quality, you'll find every lake and river has got E. coli and other metals and chemicals which should not be in there. What is 935 million liters? Imagine 93,000 trucks like this lining up every day, discharging raw, untreated sewage into our water bodies. And that's the situation in Hyderabad. In Bombay, it's even worse. So what do? We have town scale solutions to large building or campus scale solutions to address this problem. For towns, we provide turnkey fecal sludge management services. Over 80% or 70% at least of urban toilets are connected to septic tanks and soak pits and not to a sewer network. When these septic tanks are cleaned out, somebody has to come and clean it out and then they dump it somewhere, which is either open land or a water body. So what we do is we provide integrated services where we operate the trucks either independently or for the municipality, and we also design, build and operate the fecal sludge treatment plants so that this fecal sludge or septage can be safely treated and then reused. On the campus scale solutions, we work with large buildings, hospitals, townships, colleges. Come on. Okay. And here you get to treat all the dirty water, the black water, the grey water, what comes out from your toilet, kitchen, bath, gardening, car washing, everything. Currently, the treated water is reused on-site for things like flushing, for gardening, for landscaping, etc. Our hope is that in the future, the government norms will allow the excess water to be sold, so you start getting local markets nearby where construction companies, municipality for road washing or for green landscaping, you're able to actually sell this water, earn a revenue which helps you to maintain the treatment plant, and we stop the extraction of fresh water. In places we have worked at a building or a campus scale, you can reduce fresh water consumption by 30 to 50% if your STP is well designed and it runs well. We work with simple but robust technologies, and we believe in low cost maintenance systems, because typically in India we build stuff, then we can't maintain it because the month-on-month cost of running those systems becomes too much and systems fail. This is a public-private partnership we entered into in Ladakh for the town of Leh. They are building a sewer network. It will only cover 40% of the town. The groundwater is getting polluted because of the hotels and guest houses that have come up. They asked us for a solution. We built the treatment plant. Due to phenomenal partnership with the support from the local municipality, this project went from our first visit to Leh to inauguration in 4 months. And now we have treated over 3 million liters, about 4 million liters of septage at this plant over the last 2 years. Okay, and it looks beautiful. Okay, that's the truck. This is another slide. Now it treats about 12,000 liters per day. It uses biological technologies. It's right next to a large housing colony in the children's park, so there's no smell, no complaints, no problem from the locality about it. It costs about 1.5 crores to put the whole system together, which is about 375 rupees per capita of the town's population, not too much. It costs about 20 lakh rupees a year to run the whole thing, 50 rupees per capita, extremely affordable. This is a plant that our partner organization, technical partner, set up in Bangalore. This is the first fecal sludge treatment plant in India. Earlier, this is how fecal sludge was being discharged in that region. Right? And after we built our plant, this is what happens to the treatment plant. You can go sniffing around the entire plant. You will not see fecal sludge, you will not smell it, you cannot touch it. It's absolutely green and clean. The other part of our business, so there are a lot of opportunities and challenges in this area. One is the government is still not taking FSM very seriously. There's no proper government allocation of budgets, so payments get delayed, projects take very long to do. The opportunity is that there are 5,000 towns at least which will never get a sewage treatment plant, and therefore FSM is the only way to manage the dirty water. Cluster contracts like what Telangana is doing, what Andhra Pradesh has done, and public-private partnerships are a good opportunity for players like us. Oh, easy, man. Sorry, how do I go back to my presentation? Sorry about that. Now these are some of the sewage treatment plants we have built. Our partners have built. Actually, we're still getting into the business. This is completely underground. And this is a high-end housing colony in Bangalore where the entire STP is built in the middle of the walking track where residents take their morning walk. So again, no smell, no problem, beautiful flowers, looks nice. All the wastewater flows under these plants and the roots, like my friend in the earlier presentation, the roots take up the nutrients and do the job of treating the water. So what we believe is we have to treat all the wastewater. That is an imperative for our cities. STP regulations are there for large generators of sewage, but the monitoring by the government is very weak. So real estate developers and large buildings like this, for example, are building a lot of STPs of small sizes, but they're not being maintained properly, and therefore they discharge sewage into the open environment or into the drains and the sewer network. There is demand due to the water crisis that people face, but because the cost of water is so cheap due to subsidies and various reasons, and you can extract groundwater quite freely if there is groundwater, then again the cost of treating water and reusing it becomes higher than just using municipal water or groundwater. We look at neighborhoods in cities. Delhi has done an interesting thing where they are building STPs in public parks and they channel the sewage there. The water is treated instead of untreated water going into the Yamuna. The water gets used for maintaining the green spaces. We need more focus on holistic environment and wastewater protection. Building toilets, providing water taps is not enough. In fact, that makes the problem worse. We need integrated long-term planning for holistic solutions and accountability at the state level, at the city level. We need specific departments or utilities whose only job is to look at sanitation and water from end to end and to make sure that there's accountability, that rules are followed, systems are followed, and players who do this job are properly monitored. We need more capable businesses in the sector. Just startups are not enough. And if there's too much competition, that leads to poor quality outcomes, and that's why we need better regulation. And companies need to take responsibility when they're doing this kind of work. The way forward for us is to scale our business and do innovative projects. We are looking for partnerships. We are focused on urban livability, and we intend to stay profitable and scale up responsibly. Lastly, what I'd like to say is that once again, treating and reusing wastewater is absolutely imperative. If you want to address climate change, if you want to address water security, reduce pollution, improve health, and to make our cities more livable. This affects multiple SDGs, which just cannot be achieved if we don't treat and reuse our wastewater. And lastly, once again, we are a blue water company, and we're trying to make dirty water clean again. Thank you very much.